Making green tea chiffon cake involves only a few steps. However, it is not as simple as you think if you want to make it perfect each time. Want to find out all the tips and tricks? This video will provide all the information you need to make the chiffon cake, which is moist, soft, light, airy, fluffy each time. Stay tuned. Here are the ingredients. First, we have the egg yolk, 3 egg yolks. And then we have some sugar. Caster sugar is always the best. If you don't, use granulated sugar. And then we have corn oil, or you can use canola oil or any other oil with natural flavor. And then the next one is a bit of water. So all these 4 ingredients is going to be mixed together. This is the first group of the ingredients. The second group, some normal flour, cake flour, some green tea or matcha powder, a tiny bit, about 2% of the weight of the flour, that's the baking powder, mixed together and sieved. Third, we have egg white, sugar, and the cream of tartar, and this is going to be used to beat up the meringue. Step 1. Mixing all the wet ingredients. Mix the egg yolks, sugar, oil, water together. Let's take a look. Here we have the egg yolk. Use the wire whisk to break up the egg yolks and then add the caster sugar into it. Mix together and make sure the sugar is dissolved. The next step is to add the oil. As I said, you can use corn oil, you can use canola oil or any natural flavor oil. Next, add water. The egg yolk will help to combine the oil and also the water together and mix it into one homogeneous composition. And after it is done, put it aside. We'll then proceed to sifting the flour together with the green tea powder and the baking powder. Step 2. Sieve all the dry ingredients together and mix with the wet batter we have just prepared. I've mentioned in my butter cake articles earlier that I never sieve the flour, and I have explained why. Now we have so hundreds, if not thousands of butter cakes made in this way. However, I do sieve the flour when I make chiffon cake. And the reason, unlike butter cake, chiffon cake is much lighter with a lower flour ratio. So therefore, the amount of air trapped in the structure of the batter is crucial to get a light and fluffy texture. So sieving the flour helps to trap more air in the batter. How long should I mix the egg yolk batter? The time required for mixing depends on the amount of the batter and the speed of mixing. Therefore, the time mentioned in the recipe is only valid for the amount stated in the recipe. The time will no longer correct once you double up or half the amount. Hence, the best way to decide how long you should mix it is really rely on visual observation. Mix the batter until it looks homogeneous, and the result will not be better even if you mix it longer. Step 3. Prepare the meringue. Whip the meringue at medium speed throughout the process. Add the sugar and cream of tartar right at the beginning of the whisking process. I do not experience any difference between adding them earlier or later in the process. Adding the sugar in batches will not make any difference to the results neither. Check the consistency of the meringue from time to time. Under-whipped meringue will weep. Over-whipped meringue will result in a dry cake. So you should whip the egg white until it forms peaks just slightly short of stiff peaks. That's when, if you lift up the wire whisk, the peaks will hold but the tip will fall back onto itself. Folding the meringue is the most delicate step in making chiffon cake. You need to strike the balance and not breaking too much air bubbles trapped in the meringue and incorporate well with the remaining ingredients. Here are my tips to get the best result. Use a stainless steel bowl. Stainless steel bowl material is better because the cake batter does not stick to the surface of stainless steel. Use a soft rubber spatula to mix. I like to mix the meringue into the batter with the soft rubber spatula because it is pliable and can scrape the surface of the bowl effectively. Alternatively, you can use a wire whisk. Some books mention that wire whisk deflate less meringue comparing to the spatula, although I do not notice any difference. Fold gently. Start by folding a quarter of the meringue into the batter and mix well. Divide the remaining meringue into 2 portions and add one after another. The batter will deflate if you fold it roughly. Bring the meringue at the bottom up and cover the meringue at the top. Scrape the surface of the bowl gently each time with the spatula so that the batter is mixed evenly. And do not overmix the meringue. It is hard to suggest how long you should fold it as it depends on the amount of meringue. I suggest you fold it until only a few streaks of egg whites are visible. The meringue will be incorporated well into the rest of the ingredients once you pour the mixture into the pan. Step 4. Filling up the pan and bake. Remove the air bubbles. Large air bubbles trapped in the cake batter will cause large holes in the cake. Here are some tips you can follow to minimize this from happening. Gently tap the batter a few times before pouring to break the air bubbles. Pour the batter as close as possible to the pan. This pouring method can minimize the formation of new bubbles. And fill up the cake pan not more than 2/3 full. The cake will rise substantially in the oven, so leave a little bit of space for it to rise. After pouring, you can also tap the cake pan a few times to dislodge any visible bubbles before putting it into the oven. Preheat the oven. Set the top temperature at 160 degrees Celsius and bottom temperature at 180 degrees Celsius. Bake the cake in the oven. At 25 minutes, check the cake. If the surface is getting brown too fast and start cracking, cover it with a piece of oil aluminum foil or a baking tray and turn down the top temperature a few degrees. If not, just let it as it is and continue baking for another 40 minutes. I usually want to ensure the cake is fully cooked. The cake turns golden brown on the surface. It bounces back when lightly pressed on the surface and when pierced with a wooden stick right at the center of the cake, it comes out clean. The final step. Cool the cake by suspending the cake upside down. Sounds funny? This step is only used in making chiffon cake. You don't need this for other cakes. So let's see how it is done. Unmold the cake with your hand. No knife please. Many books and video demonstration suggest running a sharp knife along the pan and the base. This method will not give you the perfect finishing unless your knife skills is exceptional. The reason is obvious. The knife will shave off a thin layer of cake surface, leaving an uneven and crumbly appearance. Here are the steps. Hold the pan with one hand, tap the side with the other hand, and at the same time keep rotating the pan. Chiffon cake is as spongy as cotton, so it will not break by tapping. After you rotate the pan one full round, while continuing tapping it, the cake will start to detach from the pan. Lightly squeeze the part of the cake nearest to the base. Squeeze and continuously turning the cake. You will feel the cake is slowly detached from the base by this action. Overturn the cake and remove the base. You will get a perfect green tea chiffon cake without a scratch. I've just shown you the whole process how to make chiffon cake by using green tea chiffon cake as an example. You can apply all the tips and techniques to any chiffon cake. If you want to read the complete articles, head over to my blog tasteasianfood.com green tea chiffon cake. Once you are on that page, you can also download the summary of all the tips as an PDF file. And if you like this video, please hit the subscribe button below to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Katie Kwan. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.